Hey everybody, welcome to 14 Rings Podcast, an NFC East podcast. We are wrapping up season 2 of our podcast. The NFL season's over and our season 2 is about to be over. But before we do, we want to reflect and give out the flowers to the people that deserve it. So first off, giving Maurice his flowers.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Salute to you,
Maurice,
sir.
we hope you had a wonderful Super Bowl week.
I did. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't go to the parade, but fortunately for me, it's on YouTube, so I can watch the entire thing for the rest of eternity. Mm-hmm. So that's good.
Seeing all those people climb lamp poles, right? You wish you were there to do it?
No.
They greased those things, so
that wouldn't have been good for the lamp pole for me.
It didn't work, apparently.
No, and shout out the person who threw a beer bottle at Howie Roseman. That was messed up.
But you know what? It gave him a good punchline for his speech.
It did. Oh, you listened to it? Okay.
I heard parts of it.
Yeah.
I bleed for the city.
Yeah, he bleeds for the city. That's cool.
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
They're going to hold him to it.
He took a beer bottle to the dome.
Oh, was he all right?
He had like a little welt on his forehead, but he was cool.
Oh, jeez.
He'll take it as a battle scar.
So, before we get started, so Mal's going to be in charge of the NFC East Awards. That's the focus of this. But it's good to reflect to see who we predicted would win these awards. And let me tell you guys something. Some of these are laughable.
Yeah, I think we're way off.
I can't wait to laugh at the Giants.
So
I can't wait.
Okay, you guys ready for this? So we're not going to include. So here's what we got. MVP. We had 2 people for Dak, 1 for Hurts, and 1 for AJ Brown. I actually think I was for AJ Brown, if I remember correctly.
I was for Dak. I know I was for Dak.
Maurice was Jalen Hurts. I was Dak.
I was Dak also.
Okay. Next one, we have Defensive Player of the Year. Michael Parsons, 2 for Brian Burns, and 1 for Bobby Wagner. I know I was for Bobby Wagner.
Honestly, that category was not too bad. Honestly, all those players played well.
Yeah, they played well, but they weren't the MVP here.
Correct.
Well, the person who in the division should have won Defensive Player of the Year, no one foresaw coming.
No, correct.
Yeah, no one foresaw that happening.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of nobody saw coming, Most Improved Player, we had 1 for Mozzie Smith, 1 for Terry McLaurin, which not terrible pick, but
that's not terrible.
And then 2 for De'Ami Brown. He had his moments, but no. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year. We all had Jaden Daniels.
I think we were all right about that, but we'll talk about it more.
We'll talk about it. Defensive Rookie of the Year.
he did the smirk. He did the smirk.
He was like, yes.
Hey, I'm allowed to be happy. Anyway.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
So, Defensive Rookie of the Year. We had Marshawn Nealon. I don't know who Chapman is. I don't even know who that is.
Elijah Chapman? Dude, he's my defensive line. God. All right, whatever. Okay. We'll talk about it later.
I'm sorry. Quinyon Mitchell and Mikey Samerstill. That was the one that we did not have any consensus on. Passing leaders. By the way, how are we categorizing passing leaders? Are we just doing by the most yards?
I guess.
Or are we doing QBR?
No, do yards.
Okay, yards. Okay, so 2 for Dak, 2 for Hurts. The winner for that is, because we don't have that on the agenda, so I'm just going to tell you guys who that is. Who had the most passing yards this season was Jaden Daniels.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Hey man, the injury bug.
The receiving the receiving leader bug. We had. Hey. Look.
Yeah. Gotta be better condition.
Anyway, so we also had a receiving leader prediction, 3 for CeeDee Lamb, 1 for AJ Brown. I believe CeeDee Lamb had that one. Yes, he did, but not by much. Malik Neighbors was only
there with a bum shoulder. I was legit just gonna say Malik Neighbors did not have a quarterback. Whatever.
54 yards short.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
brushing my shoulder. It's fine.
And to be fair,
CD did that with a bum shoulder.
Oh,
and to be fair, AJ Brown, who missed like 5 games, right, Maurice, something like that,
like 3 or 4.
Anyway, he was only 115 yards behind CD Lamb, so keep that in mind.
Much weaker passing offense at the time.
Yeah.
So.
And so anyway, and then
all 4 teams got great receivers.
And then rushing, this is embarrassing. 2 of us chose Brian Robinson, and 2 of us chose Saquon. I will admit I'm Brian Robinson.
Okay, all right.
Who's who?
Earl, you chose Brian Robinson with me.
Dang.
Maurice.
It was a mistake.
Yes.
You remember when you told me last week, give Saquon his flowers? I was here through it all,
yes.
Okay?
Yes, she was. Wow, that's the proof. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so those are the preseason predictions / what we thought was going to happen.
Yeah, to be fair, I did say Saquon was going to rush for like 1,200 yards.
Yeah,
he might have like 100.
I mean, you were cooking.
Yards.
Remember when I said Saquon would be a 600-yard running back? Okay, girl, bye.
Oh, you said that 600? Wow.
I literally said 600. I literally said that. Girl, bye. I was proven
wrong. He had that just against the
Rams. Not for real.
Yeah, he took that personally.
Not for real.
It's like that Michael Jordan meme.
Yeah. Saquon heard this podcast and was like, girl, bye.
He's like, all right, bet. Watch
There's
this.
a girl, bye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So anyway, now I hand the reins over to Mal, and we're gonna make some postseason. Give some postseason awards. So Mal,
yes,
go ahead.
This is the best episode because we get to rank the best of the NFC East. And so I want to start with the NFC East champion, the Super Bowl winner, Maurice. Give us your coach of the year.
This is easy. Nick Sirianni. The guy I had faith in the whole entire season, and was never on the hot seat. He was never on the hot seat, in my opinion.
Never in the hot seat, huh? Lies.
No Eagles fan here said that.
Lies.
No,
that's
he was never on the hot seat.
That's
good to go.
Okay.
He won the division. They had a 14-3 record. Won the Super Bowl. He didn't do anything to ruin that. He's made good decisions throughout the season. He let the coordinators coordinate. For the NFC East division, I give the Coach of the Year award to Nick Sirianni.
Okay, Lucas, who's your Coach of the Year?
See, I don't think this is as cut as dry as we think it is. Because, were the Eagles not supposed to be a Super Bowl contender? Were they not supposed to be a Super Bowl contender, right? So they met expectations. And I give Nick Sirianni his credit there, absolutely. However, when it comes to Commanders, we were supposed to be tanking still. This was supposed to be rebuild. We won 12 games with a subpar roster. It's Dan Quinn.
You can't go to a championship game and say you're a subpar roster.
Dude.
You were a good roster.
Dude. We were a subpar roster.
They were good though.
We played above our pay grade. We were greater than the sum of our parts.
Okay, so when they matched up, the coaches matched up, who won?
Okay, so Earl, who's next?
Earl, go ahead. You're next. I have my thoughts, but you go first, Earl.
Oh, man. Okay. I was going to say Nick Sirianni, but I already know what Nick Sirianni can do with the team. I went with Quinn on this one, not for Lucas's sake. Stop. You look funny. You look like a cartoon.
By the way, to the listeners out there, you can go back and roll back the film. Lucas did not want Dan Quinn as coach.
He did not. I did not, and I was proven wrong. Yeah. I will eat that crow.
Yeah,
but I also want to point out that you were lying about you not having him on the hot seat either. Okay.
The lie detector determined Maurice was telling a lie.
That was a lie.
All right. But anyway,
my coach of the year, I'm gonna give it to Dan Quinn because he helped turn the team around, and from where they were from the past couple of years, he was really able to change the culture, get the guys in there to at least wash away all the negativity that was with Washington as a whole and revamp it to try to build something from the ground up. And for them to get 12 wins, I would say that's a big accomplishment from where they were the past couple of seasons. So I would put him at first. I would put Sirianni at 2. McCarthy, and then Dable.
Ooh, hold up. You have McCarthy ahead of Dable on the coaching rankings, even
I
though
don't
McCarthy...
blame him on that.
You
Yeah,
don't?
argue that
There's
with
no,
you.
yeah.
Because, I mean, your front office was sabotaging you, and you still was able to squeak out 7 wins.
Yeah, we're not talking about Dable here.
Okay. Fair point.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll give my take before we move on. So, unfortunately, Maurice, I hate your head coach. I think he is... I really hate him. I
As
really
a
do.
true Giants fan.
It's not even that. He's just so pompous. And, like, as an Italian New Yorker, he really resembles a lot of me, and I hate me. So I hate him.
So,
I'm just going to say that.
So Mal is basically a descendant bloodline.
Correct. Me and Nick Sirianni are low-key related in some way, shape, or form. Therefore, I hate him. So it's fine. But no, real talk. I will relate this back to Dable, back to 3 years ago at this point, which is kind of crazy. Brian Dable did a lot with nothing. And Dan Quinn did a lot with really nothing when he came in. And that's why I will give him my coach of the year for the NFC East. I will give Nick Sirianni the coach of the year for NFC East on the fact that he won the Super Bowl. There's no reason why that is like the goal. So therefore he deserves that. But if we're talking legitimately with what they have around them and what they had to deal with, Jaden Daniels as a rookie, he brought him to the NFC East championship game. And we got to roll with that. So I would have given Dable that if he was there. I would have given McCarthy that if he was there. How much you do with what you have is how I determine that. Hence why I'm giving Dan Quinn that.
Okay.
So, Dan Quinn,
it's not that we're like slamming Sirianni.
No, we're not slamming
That's
him,
why
no.
I prefaced with
Yeah.
Maurice, I hate your coach, but I got to give him his flowers.
All right.
Right. I give Sirianni his flowers too,
he
but
did
I
a
already
great
know
job.
what he's capable of doing.
Correct.
It was just seeing Quinn
Hence
back
why
at head coach.
Correct. And hence why I had to give Quinn his flowers too, because if it was Dable in the same situation, if we would have made the NFC Championship game those 2 years ago against you guys, I would have said the same about Dable. And I've preached about Dable, hence why I am now here with Quinn.
So Dan Quinn did more with less.
Correct.
All right.
And look. It's, like we said, it's nothing against Sirianni. It's just like he had the best roster.
That's
in the
why
NFL.
I gave Quinn the name Bunsen Honeydew.
And it's not even anything against Sirianni. He had a fantastic year. He won the Super Bowl. There's no anywhere cut or dry in between it that he wasn't it for the year.
All right.
So he was the best coach for the year, but coach of the year for the NFC East, coaching his players to the best of their ability, I'm giving Dan Quinn that.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But let's move on to Defensive Rookie of the Year. I think this is actually going to be a fun conversation. So let's start with Lucas for this one.
So this is going to be hard to believe, but I'm not going to go with the Commanders player here.
Wow.
That's
I'm not being a homer. I'm going to go with somebody that probably should have been a top 10 pick in the draft, and I'm going to go with Quinyon Mitchell.
Ayo. Earl, you're next.
Yep.
I'm going to go Quinyon Mitchell as well.
I'm going Quinyon too.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not arguing any of these, especially Sirianni, because I'm going to win a couple of these awards. Eagles are going to win a couple.
Okay, Maurice. Okay.
You leave it here with something.
You got to be a homer.
No, but I think that was going to be a unanimous decision anyway. I think
that.
And
you know who my number 2 was going to be?
Who?
Cooper DeJean.
Yeah. It was. I think.
Have you guys
Eagles,
listened to the videos of like Cooper DeJean is not my corner? He's just a white guy.
No,
like he worked from special teams to get on like the defensive roster. So
I just want to say,
crawled his way up to the top.
Yeah, I just want to say I can't believe how many people actually passed on Cooper DeJean, and that includes our 3 teams, guys.
Including
Cowboys,
Commanders,
Commanders,
didn't get a
Giants.
chance to. The Commanders pretty much traded.
For real,
like,
the Giants had every opportunity to take DeJean, and we just decided not to. And okay, our secondary is trash. So, like, why did we not? I just don't get it. And listen, Drew Phillips is fine, but that was like Joey Patchwork at his best work. All I'm saying.
Well, going into that draft, the rumors were that he was a safety.
Right.
But you remember that. So, yeah. So that was
I
the
knew
rumors
he
going-
wasn't a safety. I wanted him for the Commanders.
Yeah. So
I wanted
You
him
watched
for the
you
Giants.
watched the film on DeJean?
Oh,
Lucas?
yeah, I did.
You did? Wow, I'm proud of you, man.
Why
Good
is that
gracious.
so? Just because I'm a stat nerd doesn't mean that I never watched film.
actually, going back, if my memory's correct, Lucas was the first one here to mention Cooper DeJean.
Yeah.
I was.
Mhm.
So he
Yeah.
was my number 2, and I think that he would be a lot of people's number 2 on this. And then Mikey Sammer's still 3 for me anyway.
Yeah, and like I mentioned last week with Quinyon Mitchell, analytically, statistically, all the metrics say he was a shutdown corner in his rookie season. They didn't pass the balls in his way. And when he did, the receivers rarely caught the ball. Listen,
I will
Nick
say
Shut down
Warren.
Terry. I saw him shut down Terry twice.
it's giving Sauce Gardner, but on a contending team.
without the media hoopla.
Correct.
I do want to
correct.
also give C.J. Gardner Johnson some credit. He did
Yeah,
lead
yeah.
the division in
Yeah.
interceptions
Mhm.
with 6, including I think one return for a
Mhm.
touchdown. Yeah. We got
Mhm.
Quinyon on as our defensive player of the year. Yay! Let's go to the next one.
Okay, sounds good. So let's go to offensive rookie of the year, and I think this is going to be unanimous, but we have a little bit to talk about. So, Maurice, why don't you go first?
Offensive rookie of the year, I think this is a no-brainer. Jaden
Mhm.
Daniels.
Yeah.
He literally won the award. So
Correct. Yeah.
So yeah, Jaden Daniels had an
Mhm.
amazing rookie season, historically amazing rookie season. Took his team to the championship game. Yeah, I give him a lot of credit. They're a year or two away from being a legitimate contender in the NFC conference, not just the division conference.
Yep. Lucas,
Look,
say your piece. Talk about your boy.
Look. He's had the best rookie year in NFL history. I don't even think it's close. Broke so many records, and not only that, he was clutch. He took a team with the NFC Coach of the Year, NFC East Coach of the Year, and took a team that probably wouldn't have won more than 6 or 7 games any other year. Probably, if that's me being generous, to the NFC Championship game. I've already sung his praises. He's a dual threat quarterback who can read a defense like none other and has composure like a veteran. Like we're talking Matt Stafford, Tom Brady, and in their primes, composure. The guy's elite. I don't think anything else. I will give Malik Neighbors his credit because I know if I don't, Becca, I'm going to hear it from Becca.
Stop. Don't even worry about any of the hate. Malik deserves it. He did nothing. He did everything with nothing. That's all I'll say.
Look, Malik is second on this list for the division.
Yeah.
I don't think that's even much of a question
I'm
either.
so proud that the Giants were relevant in some type of category, and even if that's runner-up. We've been so bad all year. But yes, I agree with you, Lucas. Earl, what do you got for us? Earl. Oh, he's cooking.
Yeah. Oh no, I was just okay. Yeah, I had Jaden Daniels as offensive rookie of the year. Yeah, he earned it. He pretty much did whatever he needed to. He was a dual threat quarterback, and he worked with what he had and utilizing his youth. Yeah, great job. I watched him, followed him through his time at Arizona State, all the way through LSU, and now with the Washington team. And yeah, he's a dynamic player. Only thing I need him to do is to put some more meat on his bones. I don't want him to get hit like a cartoon going into year 2. And yeah, his sky's the limit with him. And the other 2 honorable mentions I had was Malik Neighbors as well as Cooper Beebe. He was the center for the Cowboys where he had over 300 plus snaps and gave under 5 pressures. So yeah, I just wanted to give them their credit as well and looking forward to seeing them both in their year 2.
Also, like side note, Cooper Beebe, sure. I want to give out another Giant love, and that's Tyrone Tracy Jr. I know Mal's like eating this up right now.
He was just it has been like 6 weeks since I've heard anything positive about the Giants, so I'm living for this.
Look, him and Malik Neighbors are like one of 3 combo skill players that got over 1,000 total yards each.
Yeah.
I mean, you could make an argument that he's the second best running back in the division after this season. Argument. Yeah. I'm not going to say for certain because technically Rico outgained him, but Rico had more games on him than he did as a starter. So
yeah.
The argument could be made. I don't know if Earl has any rebuttal there, but
no.
So
I mean, they were more of a run-based team. Dallas was pretty much just working to try to at least stay afloat.
So anyway, shout out to him. But yeah, let's move it on.
Yeah, real quick, I'm gonna give my take. So I agree, Jaden Daniels wins it for real. Honorable mentions: Malik Neighbors, Brock Bowers, Brian Thomas Jr.
Brock Bowers isn't in our division.
I'm just saying in general.
Oh, you mean in general?
Yeah, I just mean in general.
Okay, sorry.
No, I was just giving a shout out to those rookies. Fantastic. Great season for everyone, but Jaden Daniels takes the cake.
Okay.
Next one we have up is most improved player, and I'm going to start with Earl for this one.
Most improved.
I have a sneaky pick here.
I bet you do, sir. I bet you do. I'm gonna stay with. I'm gonna give it to Oso Odigizua.
Who?
He's a Cowboy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did not even know who that was. I'm sorry, Earl.
I only know because I've
been trying to do my best. I'm out here.
You were like, who?
I did not ever hear that until Earl just said it. I'm sorry, Earl.
To be fair, the Cowboys have some really interesting guys.
I don't know. Earl, have you mentioned him?
No, he hasn't.
Okay, that's why I was like, who is that?
Earl's beside himself. He's trying to compose himself. He's doing awesome. Usa.
Yes.
Earl, ignore me. Ignore me. Talk to the rest of the people here.
Oh man.
My most improved player is Osa Odigizua. I actually had Mozzie in my predictions early. He did improvements as well. But I want to give Osa his flowers because he's going to be one of the top free agents in free agency this upcoming free agency. And just from his progressions from his rookie year to now, they moved him to DN. He was playing 1 tech, then they shifted him to 3 tech. And he just was disruptive, and he only missed 1 game out of his time in Dallas. And each year, he just progressed more and more, being that dominant force on the line. And hopefully, Dallas can find some way to bring him back to Dallas, but his price is going to be a bit high, where they're going to have to move some money around to try to bring him back. My fear is they're going to tag him, and I don't want that to happen. But I want to give Osa his flowers and for him to be most improved because he had to work his way to get to that point, as well as buffing, being able to get himself in better shape, where in terms that I use off-season peanut butter, he really tapped into that his second year, and going in his 3rd year and 4th year, he improved each year. So that's where I go for there.
Okay. Lucas.
Fair.
Who's your most improved?
I think you guys are going to be surprised by this one, but I'm going to go with Nikai Beckham. He was thought as a washout as a right tackle. The Eagles got him, turned him into a right guard.
Nikai Beckham, yeah.
Success. Like, the guy was essential to winning the Super Bowl. He actually had the best block rate for Saquon, I think, among any of your offensive linemen. So it's him for me, and I don't think there's much of an argument.
No, that's a good choice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Maurice, who you got?
Becton is a good one, and he's going to get paid. I think he's outpriced the Eagles coming up in this free agency period. I'm actually going to go with, if we go by the category, which is most improved.
You're gonna say Saquon, aren't you?
Oh
No,
gosh.
no, no,
Okay.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. It's actually a spoiler alert also because I have him for the next category too. I go with Zach Bourne.
Ooh,
That's
that's
fair.
a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was
was
thinking
thinking
Bond as well.
fair.
But is that improvement or opportunity?
Let me
I
tell
would
you, put it
say
to you like this. Put it to you like
I
this.
mean, it could be both.
When the Eagles signed Bryce Huff in free agency, like the first day, like, okay, this is a splash defensive free agency pickup. No Eagles fan, including myself, thought that this guy from the Saints, special teamer from the Saints, that got signed to a 1-year deal, was going to be our best defensive player and a defensive player of the year candidate for the entire league. Zach Bourne had an amazing season. He was by far the best linebacker in the NFC. I'm going to say Zach Bourne had a better season than Michael Parsons. Do we agree on that?
Yeah. Micah didn't play a full season, so
Definitely.
yeah.
Zach Bourne had an amazing year, and he was a comeback. Nobody saw it coming.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my argument for Zach Bourne.
That's a fair argument too.
Yeah. He played everywhere. He played inside, he played outside, he played edge. Vic Fangio had him everywhere.
So
every big game
Pretty
he
much
had
what
he
Micah
had a
can
big
do.
play. Every big game he had a play. He made a play.
So Mal, are you going to be a tiebreaker, or are you going to make this a 4-way draw?
No, so when you said Saquon, that's who is my most improved player because Saquon on the Giants was a completely different player than who he is on the Eagles. I think that he found himself and he really turned into the back that we all think he really could have been. So Saquon deserves his flowers, and I will
With
give
the offensive
him
line, by the way.
correct.
You gotta give offensive line credit.
But hey,
Give
listen,
them credit.
you have to give them credit because they made him who he was, and they made him a champion, and he deserves it. Saquon is the most improved player in my eyes because he was never going to be who he was on the Eagles with the Giants. So I'm proud of him. I'm happy for him. I will give him his flowers. I know I came a long
Saquon,
way.
starter
I
from
know
the bottom, now
I
he's here.
came a long way, but he was never going to be a giant success story.
Sidebar before we continue.
Mhm.
Going into season 3, we will not reference the Giants and owners going to sleep and thank you, Saquon. We'll leave that in season 2.
No, we can
Yep.
reference the Giants owners going to sleep. They should be going.
Oh.
They're sleeping. They're still sleeping. They're not even awake right now while we're recording. So we can talk about that. But the Giants and Saquon was a good thing. They separated and Saquon deserved it. The Giants will eventually one day be better off, but it is what it is. So let's move on to
hang on, Mal. We cannot have a 4-way split on most improved.
Okay.
So this is my solution.
Mm-hmm.
Of the 4 names voted, we're gonna re-vote again, but this time you cannot name somebody the same player, but it has to be of the original 4 that we did. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just get through this fast,
Sure.
so we can come up on a consensus.
Sure.
Or Maurice, who's your secondary vote?
Saquon.
Mal, who's your secondary vote?
Bond.
Earl, who's your secondary vote?
Saquon.
And I was gonna go with Bond. So now we have a 2-way tie.
Okay.
I can live with a co most improved player. I
You want to make it a poll?
Oh.
Let's
Just
do
make it a
that.
poll.
We'll make it a poll, and then we'll name it next pod.
Okay.
All right.
I'll make the poll right now.
So make the poll, Lucas. Let's move on to Defensive Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Who's first?
Oh, who's first?
Lucas, you are.
Oh, you meant me. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So, Defensive Player of the Year. This was tough for me. I'm gonna go with Zach Bond though. That's who I had. That's why I didn't have him in most improved, because I was gonna have him for
Maurice.
Yeah, Bond. Everything I just stated.
Earl.
You with us, bro?
Mm-hmm.
He's looking at the stats. He's cooking. Well, Matt, while he's doing that, how about you give us yours?
Bond.
So, how about this? Can we say that Zach Bond gets Defensive Player of the Year and then Saquon? Well, hold up, because we don't know who's going to get Offensive Player of the Year.
Right.
We'll do yeah. This
We don't know, but we know.
are we sure?
Yeah. I'm gonna go Bond.
Something.
Okay,
so Bond wins.
Yeah. Bond wins.
So,
All right, so Earl, why don't you start us off with Offensive Player of the Year?
I'm gonna go Saquon with this one.
Okay.
I want to give it to Daniels, but I think with what Saquon can bring, where you can just kick the ball out to him and he can hit his head on the goalpost, you can't teach that. And with what he was able to do this season, and I believe he would have went for the record, but also he sacrificed that to help the team the best way to be his best when it counted the most. So I give him Offensive Player of the Year. And in all honesty, for those who bash Saquon on his stuff, I think if he was injured twice, he would still run a 4-5 and still smoke people.
Hang on, guys. Before we continue, we have Offensive Player of the Year and the MVP. Offensive Player of the... Do we want to do that where we have the same, like, for, like, Defensive Player of the Year or Offensive Player of the Year as the MVP?
NFL does it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought they usually do it differently. Like, they have an Offensive Player of the Year and then they have an MVP, which is different.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm going to go with Saquon as Offensive Player of the Year.
Okay, Maurice, who you got?
Surprisingly, I'm going to go Jaden Daniels.
Yay!
Ayo!
I am. I'm going to go Jaden Daniels. He completely changed the culture of your franchise. And just talking about offensively, where would their offense be without Jaden Daniels? It would probably be 8-7 or 7-8, something like that.
Yeah.
That's a very good point, because when you guys have Swift last year, clear downgrade, but still good enough to where you guys were still a pretty good offense. So
Yeah.
Lucas, who you have?
Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
For every reason that Maurice just said. And the reason with that I just said why Saquon probably shouldn't be it, it's just because now doesn't mean that I don't have Saquon for another award, but
exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
In terms of offensive impact, Jaden Daniels had the biggest. In
That's
terms
fair.
of changing the course of a team.
And for my take, I have Jaden Daniels as well. I think he should be the Offensive Player of the Year for the NFC East. I want to say Malik Neighbors, but that'll be next year. We'll circle back to this conversation. We'll circle back to this convo. Okay. But I'll give Jaden his flowers.
If you say so. Okay.
Can y'all give me some grace? I've been abused for 16 weeks. Can
Did
we just
I just give Malik Neighbors and your running backs both like Tyrone Tracy Jackson?
Okay, thanks, Lucas, for the one time in the past 4 months.
Well,
Appreciate it.
I'll give you another compliment. Okay, we said this off camera. I'm going to say it on camera here. If I'm looking at your respective football teams, Earl and Mouse, because you guys did not make the playoffs. And I'm looking not at the ownership.
Earl, we're the stepchildren, okay?
If I'm looking at your
just
teams,
for this season.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at your teams and I'm thinking about, and Lucas, I'm not worried about
Lucas
ownership.
acting like he'd been here for 10 years, okay?
Can I?
He was
can
not
I,
like this
can I
last
give
season.
you? Do you want the compliment? Now, do you want the compliment? Do you want the compliment?
I
do. You want it? Okay.
I do, but I want to troll you too.
So. Okay. Can I continue now,
yes,
or are you
please.
done? Okay.
No, I'm done.
Go ahead,
okay.
Lucas. I am done. I am
so
done.
if I'm not looking at ownership or front office, or coaching, and I'm just looking at the salary cap situation and your rosters between the Giants and the Cowboys, I'd rather have the Giants because I feel like there's less holes to fill and there's more wiggle room there.
Honestly, I kind of low-key disagree with you because the Giants have more holes to fill than the Cowboys, but that's a different story for a different therapist.
You got quarterback and offensive line and corners, right? That's pretty much it?
I have quarterback, safety, cornerback.
Well, safety, you have
cornerback times 2. I have offensive line. I have defensive line next to Dexter Lawrence. I have a lot, man. I have more than the Cowboys. But I mean, hey, listen, we out here, we're thriving. We suck. Joey Patchwork gonna do what he can, and then we're gonna move on to a new GM. So it's fine.
Real quick.
I will live for one more year.
I need to say this real quick.
Go ahead.
Can I go ahead?
Go ahead, Earl. Go ahead.
And this is for you, Lucas.
I'm listening.
Yeah, you may have had Offensive Rookie of the Year, but when he went up against Dallas, can you say he had somewhat of an okay game? Where my roster, that was half of your roster, put y'all to the brink.
Commanders did lose to Cooper Rush.
I live for this.
And you almost lost to Trey Lance.
Okay. Okay, we were 12-5 and made the NFC Championship game.
Whoop-de-doo, we got put 55 put on you.
Okay, and you guys got how much put on you guys with a second string quarterback?
Real quick. I do want to say this because this was news. This was kind of a headline when Dak came out and said that, hey, we're not that far away from the Eagles. I wanted to hear Earl's take on that.
Wait. Yeah, me too. I want to hear that.
Yeah, me too.
I want to hear that.
Yeah, he said it was a charity event.
We're getting so
okay.
sidetracked.
It was a charity event.
Yeah,
leave it at that. But Earl, go ahead. What's your thoughts?
Well, I talked to Lucas about this on what he was saying. When he plays against the Eagles, he's 9-4 against them. He's 2-1 against Hurts. The only thing he was saying in that regard was whenever he lines up and this team lines up with him against the Eagles, he puts them where they need to go. And all he's saying that, it's just, they're holding the championship. But if you're looking at the record when he's playing, he lines up against them. My biggest thing is for it, I understand where he's at with that in the context. But we just got to see how it plays out this upcoming season. He's just stating what was previous where it wasn't like blowouts when he was lined up on the other side against the Eagles. He pretty much held his own in that regard to that. That's all he was saying. And I also understand that he's saying that they got theirs. It's their turn. It's up to them. So I'm holding that to him. Now, Maurice, my question for you is, how come every single game y'all can't keep Dallas out your mouth?
Ooh. Are you referencing Darius Slay?
No.
I think he said something.
I'm talking at the Super Bowl of Dallas not even in the game. They're like, Dallas sucks.
Well, Dallas is our biggest rival. So, I mean, that's that. It's always going to be like that. If everything was reversed and the Cowboys in the Super Bowl, believe it or not, if they was in the Super Bowl,
I don't think so.
They'll be talking about their biggest rival, which would probably be the Commanders.
I don't think it would be to that extent. I'm just saying that you're supposed to be representing, celebrating. You're supposed to be representing, celebrating that your team won the Super Bowl, but you just can't keep Dallas out your mouth.
You talking about the fans, or you talking about the players?
Whoa.
I'm talking the fans, even media as a whole, where show appreciation to the Eagles on them winning the championship, but they constantly keep bringing up Dallas in that regard. And these are for the fans too, where celebrate your team. Because when you do line up against Dallas and so on from that, it could be rinse repeat with what Dak is saying, or it could be something completely different. So I'm just saying, celebrate your team, just keep Dallas' name out your mouth.
All right. Can we get back to the awards now, guys?
Okay, so let's get back to the awards. Lucas, edit this out. Guys, I really have to pee. So I'm going to go real quick. But I'll be so real. I really have to pee.
I'm keeping it in.
I really have to pee. So I'm going to go do that. But Maurice, why don't you start us off with who is your MVP?
All right, so I teased it in the last one. I'm gonna go Saquon. Would this Eagles team win a Super Bowl without Saquon? I don't know.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. It was a clip of. It's been a bunch of clips. NFL Network on YouTube and everything. During the Super Bowl, mic'd up, and Jalen Hurts said, "Hey, we might not be here without you, Saquon. I know it was a team thing, but he helped this offense, well, the team in general, but specifically the offense, really come together and gel. And he's been a leader on and off the field. So I have Saquon as the MVP of the NFC East division for this season.
I agree with you as well, Maurice, with that, because when y'all made that complete change after that bye week and realized what y'all true identity was, y'all ran with it. Having the biggest line in the league and you're not running the football like you're supposed to, that was criminal, crazy work. I'm going to give it to Saquon as well, because I think for him, he was that missing piece on the offensive side of the ball that really could get y'all where y'all needed to go. I think when y'all were in the Super Bowl, when y'all went up against the Chiefs 2 years ago, and for that you had Swift, which wasn't bad, but I think if you would have had Saquon there, I think that would have kind of opened up a little more for you guys, where it didn't feel like that mistake that happened in that bowl game. You would have hand the ball to Saquon. He probably would have shredded that defense. You don't know that, but he definitely gives you that home run threat. And he was just big play after big play when the ball was in his hands. So he did just enough to get you where you needed to go, and he did just enough to allow Jalen Hurts to cook in the biggest game.
Yeah, for me, I would also say it's also Saquon for me. Look, when you rush for over 2,000 yards, you're the MVP. I don't think there's any question about that.
Yep.
All right, so I'll give my take. My MVP is Jalen Hurts.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Jalen Hurts came through when no one expected him to. He won the Super Bowl. He handled business the whole season. Everyone underrated him. We all knew Saquon was going to be him. We all knew that.
Mm-hmm.
Even me, as a Giants fan, I was like, oh, he'll only rush for 600. Okay, girl, bye. But I knew that Jalen Hurts was going to win this for you guys, and he did. He was the one who came through it all. I'm giving Jalen Hurts the MVP for the season. And that's my thoughts.
Solid thoughts. I like them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we're going to go to our socials.
Yeah.
Maurice, do we have any mailbag stuff for the Cowboys this week?
I'm looking.
I don't think we did.
No.
I understand. I get it.
Earl, we're out here. We're really just surviving.
If y'all wanted to ask me something, I can clear it real quick.
I should have saved that thing for the mailbag.
Did Jerry Jones make the trade for Luka Doncic?
Oh, what?
Who? What?
Did Jerry Jones make the trade that sent Luka Doncic to LA?
Yeah, he did.
No, but I tell you what, that really just, Jerry was like, ooh, I wouldn't make a trade like that. Good grief. Like, man. But no, it was that. I know people still in their feelings over that. I'm kind of over the trade and stuff, so it is what it is. Anybody else got anything?
Michael Parsons said Jerry Jones is the best GM in the league. Do you agree?
It depends on...
Wait, back up. Who's the best GM in the league? Who?
Jerry Jones.
Girl, bye.
Like right now?
Girl, bye.
Yep.
No, girl, bye. It's between Howie Roseman.
There must be more to that.
Okay.
Where they just clipped it.
Okay.
They clipped
It's between Howie Roseman, Eric DaCosta, and Brian Veach. And Brian Veach. No, all right. Chef Peters is fine. He needs to give me more time. Brian Veach, Eric DaCosta, Howie Roseman. That's how it goes.
Howie Roseman's drafts have been amazing lately. I'll give him that.
Howie, Eric with the Ravens, and Veach with the Chiefs. Three of them, they run it. It's fine.
Well, I'll say this.
It's their world. We're just living in it. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just going to say this, and then I'm just going to be done with the whole Jerry thing. When Jerry first started out as an owner, he was very aggressive. He was a go-getter. He was after it. And it's pretty much kind of some things that y'all are saying about some of the owners nowadays. Jerry Jones is one of the ones to make the biggest trade in NFL history to pretty much revamp a whole team and get them to be the team in the 90s. Now, with that Jerry, it was something completely different, but his ego got the best of him. Now, if he didn't have his ego at this point the way that it is, who knows? I think he would be a better owner. But for that, it really tarnished his legacy. The man was able to secure 3 of those Super Bowls with the help of Jimmy, but he was still able to get guys in here to at least keep relevancy. He pretty much revamped this whole league to a certain degree because for some reason he's untouchable when it comes to certain things in this league. For some reason, I don't know. But if I take Jerry from past, yeah. But for right now, he's just not. He's at that point now. He's got to relinquish the GM role, and with him having it, it's just continuing to just bury him into the ground, just being an owner where everybody's just fire the GM Jerry. That's the whole thing. And for it, I would just want him to understand what he's doing, where I think he knows what he's doing. And I believe he has some intelligence with him, but he's just ego driven. Now, if he dialed back and let the coaches, he was allowed to let the coaches get hired, cook, by all means. But for what he was then, I would have took him then. And for now, it's just, he's at that point now that he's got to relinquish the GM role. And no matter how many shots y'all take at him, of course that. The man's almost 82. So, yeah. For right now, he's not. But then he was. So.
All right. Well, Earl, you're not done talking because we're going to do your favorite segment.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go. It's time for Who's That Football Player? This man is him. This player played for the Philadelphia Eagles back in the 2005 season. This player had 3 interceptions for 24 yards, 24 pass deflections, 4 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 3.5 sacks, 4 tackles for loss, 80 total tackles, 69 solo tackles. His career awards, he's a 9-time Pro Bowler, 4-time first team All-Pro, and 1-time second team All-Pro. Mal, as well as myself, who's that football player?
Brian Dawkins.
Maurice doesn't know. He didn't tell me. I didn't. I had to come up with one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well, he knows. He knows this one.
Brian Dawkins.
There you go.
Yes, Brian Dawkins. The jersey he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Weapon X.
He is him.
Yeah, he was a monster.
Him.
He was a terror on the field.
He is him.
All
he
right,
would hit
fair.
people so hard, man.
So let's go ahead and get to our poll question of the week.
Okay, let's go to the poll. Hold on. We're going to the poll question, guys. So, who is the most improved player of the NFC? Oh, okay. Lucas, I did not realize you just posted that.
I just posted that one.
Whoa, hello. All right. Redo. Okay, let's redo. All right, so let's go to the poll question, guys. Instead of just selling a minority stake in the ownership of New York Giants, should the John Mara?
I'm sorry. I was meant to say
should John Mara just sell his majority share? Yes or no? Majority said yes. And I'm going to say this real quick, guys. I agree. I think they should sell the whole team, but that's never going to happen. So please sell the majority, John. Listen to me. Let's move.
Let's move.
We move on.
Okay. All right. So let's go to the trivia question. Let me pull that up real quick, make sure I read it verbatim. The question was, Which former Washington Commanders / Redskins running back has the second most rushing touchdowns in a single season? I give the floor to you all. Earl, you gotta go last.
Why I gotta go last?
Because you usually get these right, and I don't want you to ruin it for everybody else.
No, what you got, Earl?
I was gonna say running back Terry Allen.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten that one.
Mal, you want to say somebody else?
No idea.
See, this is why I don't let Earl go first.
Yes, so
Earl,
for real.
You are right. It was Terry Allen.
Honestly, I have for real. I would not have even guessed that.
He was the running back in 1996, guys. Come on. Maurice was alive.
He was the running back in 1996. I was born in 96, Lucas.
Okay. Maurice should have at least known it.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Maurice, how old were you in 96?
I was 12.
Okay, for real, Lucas.
No, you should know that.
Let's be so for real.
Yeah.
Earl,
how old were you in 96? 5. Okay,
I was
5.
I wasn't 4 until November.
Girl, bye.
Okay. All right.
I love football, y'all. So
all right. Yeah. Maurice, close us out.
Was that the last one?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
Oh, cool.
Season 2 is officially over.
End us out on season 2, yes. Maurice.
Well, season 2 ended with a bang. I'll say that much. Go Birds.
Caw-caw.
Yeah, this has been fun. And wow, 2 seasons down. Doesn't seem like it's been that long, but it's been fun.
Nah, for real. I just want to say before Maurice truly closes out, I love you guys so much.
Oh,
we really came a long way.
We love you too.
And season 3 is only going to be better. It's only going to be better.
Right.
Only going to be better.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit.
More guests. We have some more guests.
More solo episodes focused on team stuff.
Yeah, solo episodes. And can we announce it?
No,
video?
let's wait on that part.
I think we should announce it. I think it's official.
We'll do some other promotional thing outside the podcast for that, okay?
Mal, we're linemen. We don't get the credit. Like we can't.
Fair. I block. Yeah. I don't make the plays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Lucas really is Jada Daniels.
I mean, Mal has referred to me as team captain plenty of times.
He's team captain. He makes the choices. I'm just here. I just work here.
He's Captain Planet's cousin.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, Mal, so is Lucas Nick Sirianni?
Yes.
No, that's a coach.
For real. Not for real. No, you are the coach. You are the team captain.
Dude, you do look like a head coach, though. Like, not even no cap on that one. But
it's when he talks to me, I'm like, Lucas, why don't we do this? He's like, no, Mal, like, this is what we're doing. I'm like, okay.
Lucas, you look like a head coach. Assistant coach.
We definitely talk plenty of things out, okay?
I never said you were a dictator.
Kellen Moore's assistant.
You are not a dictator. You are just a suggester. You're a team captain.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, you know what? As team captain, I will say that I couldn't have any better crew than the crew that I have with you guys, okay?
Same here, man.
Same for
Earl's
real.
going
I love you guys.
crazy in the background. I'm trying to keep
I can't unsee it. I can't unsee it. Thank you, Maurice. I got ammo now. Oh boy. I can't unsee it.
You guys started something. You know that, right?
Yeah.
We'll have to deal with this all
I already called him a
season
stat nerd, and pretty much Kellen Moore was a stat nerd, and then you just, man.
I don't look anything like Kellen Moore, though.
All right, season 2 is now over. We will see you guys in a couple of weeks when we start recording season 3. We want to thank everybody for listening to this podcast for 2 seasons now. Consider subscribing to us on everywhere. All streaming services, Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music. And give us subscribe to us on YouTube. Give our videos a like. We're doing a lot over there now with our YouTube exclusive videos. Barbershop Talk with JT. The New York Giants forecast with Mal, even though she hasn't recorded one yet.
Oh, God.
It's on the way.
Don't at me. I'll be back. I promise. Y'all, I'll be back.
DC Football 101 with Mr. J, and of course me, Philly Cooking with Chef Maurice. we'll have a bunch of content coming, so stay tuned for it all. Also, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to follow us on Twitter or X, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, all at 13_Rings Podcast. Until season 3 begins in a couple weeks, we'll see you guys then.
Deuces.
Peace.
Bye, y'all.
Blessings. Much love.